You are into a life-transforming experience as Pastor Prince Abah brings you God's Word with deep insight and power. God bless you.
So we are going to get back to what we started yesterday, the 5 W's of real manhood. And I think I did some introduction yesterday, and I will try as much as possible to tidy up on that. If I finish it quickly, then I'll be able to do a second teaching, and if I don't do a second one, that means tomorrow in the morning we might not only have prayers, but we may have prayers along with one course, because actually I planned that we'll be having prayers in the morning for 1 hour, and then we would come back in the evening just for teachings and all that. So if you were here yesterday, let me see your hands and you were blessed by what you heard. Okay, so the best form of investment is the one you make in your mind. Investment in intangible things are the most important investments. Investments in intangible things, investments in knowledge is far better than investments in clothes. Investments in wisdom, investment in the spirit. Investment in the spirit is far better than investments in material things. So we know real men by what they invest in. So how your future will finally turn out to be is a function of the investment you make in your life today. If you want a bright future, you have to invest in your today. You see, real wealth is portable. Real wealth is not the cars. They are not the material things. The car, the house. They are not the physical things that eyes can see. A truly wealthy man is wealthy on the basis of the quality of training, the quality of values, and the quality of resources he deposits in himself. If you meet, let me use, I think he's still the richest man in Africa. If you use Aliko Dangote as an example, let's assume you meet him physically now. Maybe you meet him at the airport or you meet him anywhere. You realize that you will not meet him necessarily carrying money. Yeah, that's the man that you call the richest man in Africa. You won't literally see him carrying a bag full of money. It's possible if you ask him for money, he will tell you he doesn't have any cash on him. But he's the richest man. Why is he the richest man? Is it because he has money everywhere around him? No. Why would you literally want to respect him, honor him, bow to him if you meet him? You say, that's the richest man in Africa. And yet he can be wearing slippers. So it's possible the richest man can be wearing bathroom slippers and wearing shorts and wearing maybe a t-shirt like Mark Zuckerberg. That's how he dresses. T-shirt, jean, and maybe a pound slippers. Yet he's one of the richest guys in the world. So you don't use physical things to tell that a man is rich. Because what will finally translate those physical things into existence are the things that you have on the inside of you. Dangote is first rich from within. It is the wealth on his inside that has translated to physical resources. Like you see the money, you see the cars, you see the house, you see the refinery, you see all the big things he has done. All those things he has done are possible or were possible because of the quality of person he has become. You know, a lot of people want to have, a lot of men want to acquire. They just want to, for some men, they want to make money, they want to build a house, they want to buy car, drive cars, they want to do business. And sometimes a lot of them come to me to talk to me about what they want to do, and I tell them it's powerful. What you want to have is powerful, but can I ask you, what is the quality of your person first? Because if the quality of your person is not sorted out, that thing you want will not come. That's why you see, before God gave Adam dominion, before he said let them have dominion, he first of all built Adam to carry the two major softwares that propels dominion. Dominion is the having side, the result side of your life. Genesis chapter 1 verse 26. When he said let us make man in our image and our likeness, he now said let them have. That part, let them have, actually is the result part. To have means to gain. It's the profit side of life. Is the result side, the acquisition. That's where the material things you want begin to show forth in your life. That's the having side of life. But before the having side of life, there are two things that principally propels your having. That's what most people don't go for, and that's why they struggle and they don't know what is going on with their life. So what are those two things? Because God knows you can't function in dominion, you can't have result, you can't succeed, you can't be successful, you can't be great until those two softwares find expression in you. The first software is image. An image here is not necessarily your physical outlook. Image is not how you look. Image is not your physical appearance. Image is not your physical structure. Image in this context is your character, your value system, is the nature of person inside you. That is your image. Hello somebody? Hello somebody? Your image is the nature, the value system inside. There's this popular statement. I've heard it from as long as when I was a baby. I don't know if you've heard it, but it goes like this. That statement goes like this. They say if you bring Americans from America to Nigeria and take Nigerians from Nigeria to America, in a matter of 7 years or even less, Americans in Nigeria will turn Nigeria into America. Nigerians in America will turn America to Nigeria. So that statement goes to say that what makes a place is not the physical location. It's also like saying what makes a man is not the physical possession. What makes a place are the quality of the people there. You see Abah, for instance, Ebonyi State. There's a way Ebonyi is. That if you leave Ebonyi now and go to another state in Nigeria, let's assume maybe you go to Port Harcourt, River State, or you go to Lagos State. Okay, inside Lagos, Lekki for instance, you go to Lekki or VGC, or maybe Abuja, you go to Asokoro, all those nice places, Gwarimpa and all that. If you move people who live in such place, maybe for instance a place like Lekki in Lagos, if you move people who live in Lekki now and bring them to Ebonyi State, hello, give them 7 years or less. And when I mean people who live in Lekki, I'm talking about those real estate developers, I'm talking about those entrepreneurs, I'm talking about those guys when you enter their barbing salon looks like it's not salon. I'm talking about those guys where if you go where they are selling suya, I've been to a suya joint in Lekki where they sell suya, this same suya you buy on the road like this with wheelbarrow. You would buy suya for as much as 9,000 and it's one stick or so. And they will finish, give you souvenir, they will take your data, you'll be getting SMS like bank, send you SMS on birthday, on your own birthday. Suya seller send, the suya guy has a Prado Jeep, he has built a house in Lekki, he's a big boy. if you bring people who think like that, because such businesses are not products of location alone, it's the person doing it that makes the business reflect that kind of concept and excellence. Because if you don't have that kind of creativity and innovation, you can't do that. Hello, somebody? If you bring those kind of people now to Abakaliki and saturate Abakaliki with such mentality, such mindsets, and take people from a boy now to Lekki, 7 years, the guys here will turn Lekki to Abakaliki. The guys from Lekki will remove Abah from the Abakaliki and leave just the Lekki. That's Lekki. They will turn here to Lekki because it's a mind thing. Now, if you want to know why places end differently, why places are usually different, why people get different results in life, people achieve things at different level, I'll tell you why. It's not because this guy who is achieving something is luckier than this other guy. No. It's largely because this one who you think is luckier has much more value for what you call development. He has much more value for what you call training. He has value for information. He has value for knowledge, which is what conferences like this is meant to do. God knows that Adam cannot have dominion until he takes care of two important things. One is the issue of image, which is the values and the nature, the principles that runs his life. And then number two, the issue of likeness, which is the issue of wisdom. Image deals with the value systems. Like for instance, examples of values like humility, examples of value like excellence. Amen, somebody? Are we together? So examples of values are values like time. Time is a value system. Watch countries that are very advanced, that are doing better than Nigeria. Watch what has made them successful. It's not necessarily the money and the resources they have. If you sit down and learn what I've learned, you will see that we don't have a problem as a country. Then you see that nobody in this world should have any problem. You see that the problem is this two softwares, this image and likeness problem is where the problem of Africa is, and the problem of Africans is. That's where the problem is. Like in Nigeria, for instance, you see how we don't care about the way our roads are. We don't care about all these debts that we litter around town. We don't care about how we eat and dispose. It doesn't matter to us. In other countries, it's a serious issue. Very serious issue. There are countries you go, it's a crime for you to chew gum and drop the leather on the road. I traveled to one country, first day landing the airport. Somebody was put in handcuff for dropping chewing gum leather at the airport. I said, Nigeria is blessed though. You see, most of our Nigerians who want to travel abroad, you know why they deport some of them after 1 or 2 years? They can't live up to the standard of those countries. They go there and they begin to cause problem. They begin to get into things they shouldn't get into. Law enforcement agents catch up with them and deport them back. The problem is that the values that run that nation is the foundation for their greatness. Values are the most important thing that a man can acquire. It's not money first. It's your value system. Values are the most important thing that a nation can acquire. It's not anything else. See this flyover, for instance, that they built here. Just if you walk on top of it now, just look behind. You know it took money to build that flyover. There are things that they bought and put under there, like all those green rugs that they bought and put there. Go there now. That place is now a toilet. You see feces, poo everywhere there. That rug that cost money to buy is now turned upside down. Look at the lights that they used to have there. Turned upside down. The light doesn't work again. The fountain is not working again. When they were doing all those things, I said, this man who is doing all this, as good as what you're doing is, I have a problem with it. these human beings you are building it for will be the ones to destroy, because we have not yet developed the character, we have not developed the image and the likeness of Nigerians. That's why it's taking Nigeria time to develop. So you can even finish building paint a nice city. It's human beings who will come and destroy. 1 week is enough. They will scatter everything. Where is that problem coming from? It's from the nature, the way we are on the inside. That's why people who want to succeed without first working on their foundation, it's like you want to build a building. What building are you building if you don't have a foundation? Values are the foundation of your success. It's like me. Set food now. Let me tell you something about value. Value is what distinguishes a man's preference from the other. If you're a man who goes for values, you're able to tell what is important to you. That's why it's called values. Values talk about what is important to you. What is important to you? Do you know what has more premium or has more profitability? And do you know how to differentiate it from things that don't have profitability? For instance, if you set food on the table now and put book on that table, because of the kind of values I have, you ask me to choose. I don't need to pray, because I have natural value for self-development, for wisdom. The natural thing for me to do is to go and take the book and fulfill the food, because I know investing in myself will yield me more food than I can even think about. Developing myself from within will give me access to more resources that I can. Okay, for instance, if Dangote comes now and asks some of you, choose between these two: friendship with me now, Dangote, or $1 million. I don't need to pray to hear from God. Right here and now, I know all of you will choose $1 million. How many of you will choose friendship with Dangote? Put up your hands. It's because you're here, that's why you didn't raise your hand. Those of you who didn't raise your hand, you're very sincere. But you know the natural thing for me to do is to forego the $1 million and choose friendship with Dangote. Because the things that I will learn from Dangote, the kind of things I will acquire, being in his circle, he gives me access. And it gives me $1 million. I can take $1 million and go. Tomorrow, dollar will fall. Tomorrow, I will use the 1 million, maybe buy things, invest in things, and I'll never access Dangote again. But if I choose relationship with that man, one is that I have chosen access for life. The meetings he organizes, the conferences he goes for, places he goes around the world, the secrets of Dangote will now be at my fingertips. It will be in my palm. Because I am relating with the man who is the brain behind all this investment and all this greatness that he has built. You know, we usually say, don't give me fish, teach me how to fish. There are most people who don't see that as a value system. Some want the fish, they don't want to be taught how to fish. Hello. Some of us even sit down in trainings where rain is falling literally. You're even fortunate you have a roof and all that. I remember one time I traveled. It was Lagos Retention Camp, one conference like that. 4 days. It always happens to me. When I appear in the meeting, first thing I will do is to go to the book stand. Because that's my value system. I'm a bookman. Because if you read books today, you will lead tomorrow. Readers end up leaders. It doesn't matter the sector. Whether it's in mechanical, start reading resources in that field, you become the leader there. Whether it's in business, or start reading the resources in that field, you become the best there. The summary of what I'm saying before I get into what I want to show you, and you can take this as one of your first course. To improve the quality of your life, you have to improve the quality of your person. Fight all you can to imbibe and cultivate values. You will succeed faster. You will get to your promised land faster than a man who wakes up in the morning doing nothing about improving himself, just waiting for God to bless him. It's like me, like I was saying, when I travel for conferences and meetings, it takes me a lot of money. I spend plenty money. And usually, some of the times when I even get to the venue of the program, first place I always go to is the book stand. I will buy books and buy books and buy books and buy resources. When I'm done buying all those books, sometimes I've used up my hotel money. I've used up my flights money. I've used up my feeding money. One happened to me in Redemption Camp. 4 days program, I had spent everything on the book stand. So there was no place for me to sleep because I'd used up my hotel money. I didn't use up my flight money. So guess where I was sleeping? Every morning and every evening after the 2 sessions, I would go find one corner at that Redemption Camp. Not even inside a building, outside. It was dry season. No, it wasn't really dry season. It was nearing dry season. So there was still downpour of rain. So I'll find one corner and go and lie down on the sand. There are some areas there where you have some kind of beach sand. I go and lie down there and use my bag to do pillow. Bring out my suit and use to cover my leg because of mosquitoes. Most people who know me usually say things like, this guy has a big dream, he has a big vision, this man is a great guy, he's so excellent, he's too wise, he's too good at what he does. If you know the years of investment, before I was 24 years, I'd finished 3,000 books, cover to cover, cover to cover, cover to cover, before I was 24 years. And you can imagine how many years ago that is. I'm trying to get the statistics of the number of books I've consumed at this age of my life. How do you explain that a country is not developed like Nigeria, yet it has more resources than any other country in the world? Is this not rain that is falling now? There are countries where it doesn't rain like this. They are number one in famine. And asking what is inside those people. It's not what is outside their state or outside their country. It's what is inside those people. I was telling somebody something the other day. I said, look, if I was in Lagos, maybe Lekki, or let's say I was in Europe, I was in one of these developed countries, and you see this here I'm putting up, for instance, it would take me 6 months, I'm done with it. Do you know why? Because somebody who sees it will pass, stop, and come down and say, sir, are you trying to put up a conference center here? Yes. Okay, what will you be doing inside here? We'll be doing trainings, we'll be doing human capital development, we'll be doing that. He said, wow, this is good. So can I support you with $1 million? Because in those countries, they support human development. In this part of the world, we don't know what it is, so we can't support it. As long as it does not look like a hotel, as long as it doesn't look like ballers, it doesn't look like people who go to throw their life away, instead of helping you, they will fight you. For instance, you have professors in your universities in Nigeria. I've traveled to Moscow, Russia, and a couple of other places. You go and see their universities. You would go to school and not want to graduate because of just environment. You don't want to graduate. You know why I can't do any degree program again. I can't do any other advanced studies. Because if you like bring business school to EBSU, I can't go. If you bring whatever, bring anything around here, I can go. Because of the kind of exposure I've had already. I've gone to campuses abroad. When you enter just past the gate of the campus, you don't want to go out again. The neatness, the classroom, the kind of equipment they used to teach. Then you now come to preschool here and see what you see, or go to primary school, see the you can have professors in such schools, and it's not a problem. Oh, a professor told me something when we started developing here. He came around, looked, and said, "Wow, this one is American style you are doing." I said, "Yes." He said, "It's good, it's big." I say, "It's glass church." But I said, "But it's not just a church, it's a conference center. We are developing human capital here." You see, this about, say for instance, this is about clicking, where people don't like to leave. People come here, no, I don't like the people. I don't like to, no, about clicking, this is where they are, this is where boy is, If you develop the people in this city, if you develop a boy people, they can do better than any other people in the world. These are boy people. The reason a boy is deprived of greatness and deprived of development is that we don't place value on tapping into the human potentials in the people. We don't. These people you see here, it's so serious that even dogs now can be trained. How much more human beings? You can train a dog, he will do all the house chores. So I was telling that prof that I said, do you know why a boy is backward? You people should invest in the human resources in the land. A boy people are good people. Just remove this backwardness that is here. How do you invest in the people? Invest in the people. Invest in the people. If you go to Lagos, I keep using Lagos as an example. Oh God, let me finish about the prof. Then I'll come back to the example I want to give you. So this prof told me, what you are building here is powerful, is good. This is American style. So I started giving him the finishing. I said, when we finish, this place is going to be, there's going to be a demarcation here. This front is going to be a coffee lobby. We're going to have a tea shop. We're going to have this one here. We're going to have a mini fashion outfit center there where people can go and pick their suits. They will see, we will have this here, we'll have that here, and so we'll rock the whole place, we'll pack the whole place, we'll put air condition everywhere. When I finished and mentioned the condition, he said, what do you need air condition for? And why do you want to rock the place? Why not just put ties? People will spoil the rock. I said, no, they will not spoil it. Just teach them. The reason people are putting ties is because you believe the people are dirty. Why not teach them how to? I've traveled abroad from your house kilometers away to where you're going to. You won't see one dust on your shoe, because all the streets are so clean. He said, no, they will bring dust. I said, no, I'm trying to raise a kind of people. So we'll put rock here. And we'll put some other things that will help us to make sure the place is clean. This whole place will be German floor. We'll interlock it so there will be no room for people to even come in here with dust or whatever. He said, then air condition. The place is so big, so you can just put window here, put window here, put window here, put window here, put window here. Breeze will be entering. I said, it's a mindset that is reacting. The kind of mind you carry. That's why you're talking like that. You don't believe that you can build a facility that costs millions and furnish it well so human beings can come inside and learn. That's why your schools are the way they are. It's a mindset problem. It's a mindset problem. That's why students go to class and sit on the floor. They don't believe that students can sit in an AC class. That's why with everything we have, we can't bring people from abroad. This is the only state where you live in. You don't see Canadians coming here. You don't see efforts being made by the leaders to bring Chinese men, bring Harvard University consultants, white people, organize youth conference. Free of charge. You have the money to do that. And then bring some of these Bill Gates, bring Mark Zuckerberg. What will it take? Host Mark Zuckerberg here for 2 days. Bring the young people. Do a tech summit. Let this guy, if you can't take them abroad to have that experience, let them have it here. Before you notice it, everybody say will come another London. It's not flyovers that will make the state of London. The flyovers are already shutting down. Do you guys even understand what I'm talking about? For you now as an individual, let's leave the nation, let's leave the state. What is your personal value? Do you have value for time? Do you have value for knowledge? Do you have value for wisdom? Do you have value for information? Do you have value for values? Do you have value for mentorship? These things are more important than money. Because when you get them, it's easy to get money. If you don't have them, money is far from you. Are you desirous about training yourself into becoming a global citizen? Or do you want to play at a local pedestal? Let me tell you this, young men. The reason life is becoming boring and becoming empty is because you're not growing. There are most of you who are already getting to that point where you're fed up with life. Depression is setting in. I'll tell you why. Because you're not growing on the inside. There's no vision. Because if there's a vision, there will be excitement and passion. Vision when you know where you are going to. You wake up every day with this curiosity of how to be better. You want to grow. You want to develop yourself. You want to advance. You want to be better. Life does not start with having. Life starts with being. Being is image. Then doing is likeness. It's not what a man does that makes him successful. It's who the man first is. When you are a better person, you will do whatever you do well. When you do what you do well, you will succeed. Natural. It's so serious that if I'm a organizer now, how we do organizer? Everybody will pack to pump tire where I'm doing organizing. You will never believe I'm a organizer. You won't see one black suit on my body because I'm doing organizer. I've been to a car shop where they paint in Lagos. A car shop. I entered there. People who were painting, there's not one paint on their body. I said, how do you guys paint and not get stained? That you drive into an automobile company where they are painting cars at Lekki. What you will use 60,000 to paint here, there you're using 600,000. Because of the packaging, the value. Your price value is in your packaging. How you package yourself. Hello? Somebody can be selling akara by the roadside and selling it for 10 naira or 5 naira one. Another person is selling it somewhere else and selling it for 1,001. It's not the difference in the taste. It's the difference in the packaging. That's why it's not first what you do. It's first who you are. As a man thinketh in his heart, that is how his business is. As a man thinketh in his heart, that is how his ministry will be. As a man thinketh in his heart, that is how his life will be. As a man thinketh in his heart, that's how his finances will be. Everything is a result of the quality of your person. So if there's anything you should pay attention to, people of God, is pay attention. More than anything else you pay attention to. Pay attention to the quality of your person. Pay attention. The quality of your person. Develop capacity for love. Develop capacity for mercy. Develop capacity for compassion. Those are values. Develop capacity for integrity. Those are values. Develop capacity for honesty. Those are values. Develop capacity for time. Develop capacity. Just acquire as many values as you can. Anything that is positive value, positive trait, acquire it. The way it works is that, for instance, me like this, there are things I've gotten in this life. I didn't need a PhD to get it. There are things that have just landed on my table just for value system. Value system. Do you know I have been favored just for neatness? Just for neatness. I've been favored. One day I missed my flight. I didn't miss it. I was almost missing it. And I ran into the airport. See, the flight was already taken off. The chief security officer who was at the counter, I ran because the airpiece had already moved in. So nobody was checking anybody in. I ran through. I went to the chief security, a lady, and she knows me. And how did we know? One day I was passing through that boarding room to go and get my flight. She looked at me and said, sir, you're a pastor? I said, yes, I am. She said, you're so handsome and so clean. I said, God bless you. God bless you. I said, please use this one. Just buy yourself pure water. How much? 1,000. No, just buy pure water. I appreciate the good works you guys are doing. I said, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I said, by the way, let me get your contacts. We exchanged contact. I called her. I said, is this your WhatsApp number? I said, I'll send you some messages on WhatsApp. I said, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. The next time I was so early, the flight was already going. The same woman saw me. He said, Pastor, are you traveling? I said, yes. To where? Abuja. He said, your flight is already going. I said, that's why I ran to you. He said, my God. She left everything she was doing, jacked me by the hand and took me through. And when she got, she began to beg the airpiece. We said, please, my pastor is traveling. People should open for. He said, madam, it has gone. Do you have your boarding pass? Do you have? He said, nothing. You can't pass that room without a boarding pass. I broke it. One of the airpiece guys looked at me and said, hi. Oh, this fine man, no. Collected my passport, ran to the computer, printed my boarding pass, came back, plane was already turning. They had closed the door. When they printed it, the woman carried me with another staff. We ran to the plane. The guys who were removing the staircase began to wave the pilot. Say, please, can you manage to stop? The pilot looked down and saw me. I was looking at him and smiling. And he opened the door. And that's how I entered. Imagine that first day I met that woman. When I came through there, you say, okay, let me see your bag. For what? Do you know who I am? Oh, sorry, I didn't know who you are. Sorry, sir. Stop asking stupid questions. Okay, anything for you? Didn't you eat in the house this morning? Why are you walking? I did not pay you. The day you would miss your flight is that same woman you would need. So what value do you need to scale through? Is humility, is love, is kindness. Everything is not money that opens. Money does not open every door. There are doors, is your humility that open. There are doors, is your meekness, your kindness, your wisdom will open. It's not what you study in school. Finish studying all you want to study. Don't study the subject of values. You are bankrupt. You are men here. We're talking about issues that are deep here. If you marry tomorrow, is it that your wife has billions? Is it that your wife has millions of dollars that will bring peace to your family or that will make you a happy man? It's not the billions your wife has that will make you a happy man. Every man is not looking for a woman who has money to marry first. It's good if you have a woman who is rich. But inside that rich woman, what you're looking for is, this woman, can she listen to me? Is this woman submissive? Is this woman meek? Is it the type I can correct her and say, honey, I'm sorry. I didn't know it was wrong. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Yes, she has 1 billion in the account. You see that the 1 billion does not matter to you more than that. I'm sorry, honey. As nothing as I'm sorry is to some of you. If you see how much it means than having billions in your account. God sent me to a boy to school the states. I know what the problem is. Is to school the states. Pastoring means to shepherd. He sent me here to shepherd the states. One of the cultures I've seen in this land is a culture of bitterness and envy. Have you noticed? When you go to places where people are doing well, it's natural for you to be inspired. I give you an example. I posted something on my Facebook page the other day. I said, people with big dreams are usually attracted to people with big dreams. People with small minds throw stones at people with big dreams. Do you know, it's a challenge I've seen in the land, that when you are maybe a young man trying to stand out and trying to be different, instead of being a source of inspiration to people, you become a source of offense. People who used to greet you, see, and they don't greet you again. just because you're suddenly doing well. There's another place you will live, you'll be so shocked. You're doing well will be the motivation behind another person's rising. You're doing well will become the reason people want to come close to you to learn your secrets. So it's a problem, and how you cure that problem is by reintroducing value. The culture must change. It's culture of envy, culture of bitterness, hatred. That's why people can poison people, people can kill people, people can assassinate people. Somebody is driving a clinker, and then he passes you, you're angry. A particular lawyer who is a lawyer with the Supreme Court, he is even from this state, but he's based in Abuja, was telling me how that he has vowed never to come back to Abakaliki again, to come back to Ebonyi State. I said, why? Your own state. He said, I won't come back. He said, the last time I came back with one small Mercedes car. He said, almost everybody I met wanted to kill me. It's either they are giving you looks, and if you don't look away, you can miss your road. They'll look at you one kind of eye. He said he became the gossip of the town. And there's someone even praying that he should have an accident with that car. I said, is that so? He said, Pastor, I don't know what you're still doing in a boy. He said, because it can only be thus says the Lord that you are still in this land. He said, sir, if you are in a place where people like you are, you are egg, you are golden egg. You are gold to pick. That is people will. If you are in a place, people know the value of what you are doing. You think if I'm doing this here, I'm doing somewhere in Lekki, I'll be here? Yeah. People will be coming to sign off checks. People will be dropping cars. People will be doing all kinds of, Pastor, please, what is that thing you're doing there? I see, that's a very beautiful gate. Pastor, can I pay for it? Pastor, what do you, wow, Pastor, I love your concept. Your way of thinking inspires me. Pastor, please hold this 10 million. Poverty is not first the absence of money. It's the bankruptcy of your mind. That's why when you see somebody doing well, you're angry. You can't give him help. At the same time, you want to kill him. Because you think that he's rising above you. Nobody can rise above any other person. You can only rise above your yesterday. Because you're not in competition with anybody. It's a sickness of the soul. So the guy said, I know they come again. He says, sir, do you know the funny thing? This Mercedes I'm driving in Abuja where I am is airport taxi. This vehicle is what they used to do. He said, the Abuja big boys cannot drive this car. He said, down here it's like I'm God. He said, I'm not coming. It has happened to me too now. The last vehicle I was driving, the last Jeep, before I sold it on the altar as a seed, a Range Rover. Once you start the car, the Jeep, it will take time, few minutes. All the balloons will go up and the car will set heavy on the ground. Latest model. Then when I drive it into church or drive anywhere, I off the car. Everything will go down again and settle. So anywhere I go to, and that thing happens, you see the villageness in people. You see the monkeyism in people. You know what monkeyism? Monkeyism is the art of acting like a monkey that is untrained. That's the concept and theory of monkeyism. Hello? You just see how people will express that timidity in them. You see where men up to about 20, maybe they are drinking, and you just drove in and park. People were discussing before the guy drink. Everybody will leave their drink and turn. Oh, pastor, this kind of motto. Okay. You just feel, Lord, how did I arrive here? That's why there's no inspiration for you to succeed in the city. This is why. I'm doing some little diagnosis here. Hello? If you want to trivialize the things I'm saying, go ahead and trivialize it. If you want to implement, go ahead and implement it. One thing is that kings don't fight kings. That's why you will hardly see Dangote and Otedola or Tony Elumelu fighting. You hardly see them. Because they are in the same class. They help each other there. This is a season of empowerment for you guys. Everything I'm doing, and even after now and beyond, is empowering you. That's why I'm putting it in your mind. There's a way you must start thinking. Don't see God's blessing on a man and be angry. You have a wrong value system. Let the blessing of God on a man inspire you. Let it make you want to come close. And know, sir, how do you do what you do? You know, in this city, and that's the last thing I'll say, and I'll now show you the 5 things and close. I'm careful how I correct people. Because you correct people for what would benefit them, they get angry with you. I was in the church to minister somewhere. That lady till today, she's still very close. We're very close friends, though we don't see because of distance. She came late, and she's a chorister. And she had a legitimate reason for coming late. She works with one of those oil firms somewhere in Port Harcourt. The daughter of one of my friends. So I was ministering, and I was talking about commitment, leadership, stewardship, you know. And then she sneaked into the church. Workers' meeting. I turned. I said, "See that one coming late. You're even wearing choir uniform, and you're coming by this time." She did like this. And she stood and knelt down. I was doing like this. "I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry, sir." I said, "Let me tell you what lateness does to you." I now opened Ananias and Sapphira's story and began to expose some mysteries about lateness, how it can destroy people's life. I opened the story of the foolish virgins. I started showing that I said, it's foolishness when you are late for meetings like this. While I was showing her, she was like, "Thank you, sir. I'm sorry, sir. It won't happen again, sir." The meeting finished, and I got into the vehicle, and the entourage, we moved back to my hotel. Now, I didn't know that lady followed the host of the meeting, and they came together. So when I came down from my car, I saw her coming down, and the host said to me, he said, "Sir, she has been disturbing me that she wants to apologize to you." I said, "We are finished trashing the matter. It's for..." He said, "Sir, I am sorry, sir. I just said, let me tell you how sorry I am for coming late. I don't want you to have such impression about it. That's not my nature." I said, "Hey?" I said, "Port Harcourt, you are blessed, though. In my city, they will stop coming to church. They will hate you. Just tell the person, what you are wearing does not express the kingship in you." The guy will be, "This man look at me and insult me." So that's what this church does. That pastor can insult. That pastor will just yab you. He will just finish you. There will be no place to hide your head. Is a defeatism spirit, a mindset of failure that has taken hostage of such a person. And if he doesn't leave him, he's going nowhere. He's going nowhere. You can be wearing suits and you're going nowhere. Me like this, if you know how many times they give me, rebuke. And that's when I even know that I'm valuable. Because if nobody rebukes you, you have lost value. You have no value. They just see you and dodge. Let's not talk. That one will be offended. You are finished. Proof that I am a valuable person is that from time to time, my father in the Lord, he rebukes me. He doesn't do that to me. Finished, I'm finished. That means you are on your own. Anything that happens to you is your business. I'm not involved. It's a terrible place to be. Don't think you're doing better when nobody is looking out for you. When nobody can caution you. That is, you have become so big that you do what you want to do. You arrive when you want to arrive. And you know me, I can be diplomatic when I want to be diplomatic. Because I now know your nature. That this guy, rebuke him, he will not show up again. What I'll be doing is I'll be laughing with you. Well done, well done, well done. God bless you. You're a great guy. God bless you. You're finished. You entered ditch. And I'll be watching you enter it. I will never. Because that is saving my head also. Because if I talk to you, you'll be the first to pull the trigger on me. So leave him, let him enter ditch. Maybe when he breaks a leg or two, he might now reset his brain. Then we can now start talking again. It's a spirit, this is a nature. And sometimes we inherit this nature from our growing, from our parents, our environment, from our associations. We inherit it not knowing that we're picking up negative traits. We're picking up negative lifestyle that will stop us on our way to the top. All right, if you were blessed by that, let me hear you say amen. Of course, I didn't plan to say all that, but I had to say it in the light of some things I observed here. You know, I had to say it. I'm not a hireling, I'm a shepherd. Hirelings would maybe just keep some things and just do their preaching. What they call them to do is to preach, and then after that they will go. But a shepherd will go beyond preaching. He will look at what is actually happening to these people. Why this kind of attitude, behavior, and all that. One day we were talking, I said, Africa, Nigeria, even Ebonyi State, we are blessed with fake pastors and fake prophets, and we deserve them because we don't want truth. We don't want who will spend time and equip us and develop us. We don't have value. When you hear training, men's conference, training is ongoing. You're not eager. You don't want to learn. If I had come here now doing a ranging miracle for you, your blood will be hot. That's why you have more of something. You don't see pastors of intellect, pastors who have wisdom, who can settle down and open scriptures and teach you wisdom. You have scarcity of such men in this part of the world because what you're looking for is wrong. If I told you now, there are 3 witches who want to kill you, go and bring me 1 million. You will run around to look for where to sell and bring it. But now they are doing training and then count money and go and give. That's a better place to go and sow seeds than to sow seeds in the life of a man who is lying to you. Go and see where young men are attending meetings and they have to pay school fees as much as 150,000 for a conference like this, men's conference like this. They are paying in thousands of naira to just have access inside. You don't know what is valuable. You don't know what has value. Part of the reason these things happen is because you guys get things a lot for free here. You will not again. You will not again. Just take a stock of your life and tell yourself the truth. Whether I'm talking to you or not, just tell yourself the truth. Are you happy with your life the way it is? Are you happy? Ask yourself, are you happy the way you are? The results you're getting. Are you happy? The way your life looks like a commoner's life. Are you happy? Because if you're not tired with your results, no medication I'm giving you would enter. Nothing I'm saying will help you. Nothing I'm saying will change you. If you're not tired with your results, nothing will help you. When I was in school doing my first degree, I wanted to know what makes other people get unusual results and why Nigerian graduates graduate from school and they are working and earning peanuts as salaries, and why even some don't get job at the end of the day. I went into deep research and I found out whatever you read in school doesn't make a man, doesn't make you successful. Look, there are people I went to school with in this town. I see them in this city riding Okada. If you ask them, is this what you went to school to study to do? They'll say no. Why are you doing this? They'll tell you it's because of bad government. Bad is a lie, sir. There are people in the midst of this bad government in Nigeria, bad everything, have succeeded. It's not the government that determines whether you succeed. If you like, let God be president of Nigeria. A man who will never get up and do something about his life will fail. It's not bad. We play the blame game too well in this country. It's bad government, it's economy, it's dollar, it's this, it's that. And that's why a lot of people are failures, making stupid excuses here and there. Crazy excuses here and there. Yet information is global now. Knowledge is global. You can access knowledge from any part of the world where you are and enrich your life and go far. Yet people will still be failures. If I've not invested so much in my life, I'm sure 100 million plus in development. Yes. Open your eyes well and look at me. Yes. In books, in training, there are some books on my shelf that is more than 280,000 books. One book on my shelf. The reason people reduce me here in Ebonyi State is because you don't know who I am. You just see him as you look at me with the eyes you look at yourself. The trainings I've gone for, Please, some of you may need to reconsider living Abakaliki for at least 1 month. And when I mean live, I don't mean just change location and go somewhere else. I mean leave Abakaliki and go and spy on other cities and check what young men who are successful are doing. You will find them in meetings like this. You will find them in trainings. They are dressed in suits, wearing tie. They are writing. They are scripting things down. You will find them going to go and pay. I have a lady. That lady used to be in Abakaliki here. She came for my meeting one time. After she finished hearing me, I was supposed to travel to Lagos on Tuesday. She came for one of my meetings. After she finished hearing me, she called me in the evening of that day and said, "Sir, you said you're traveling to Lagos on Tuesday. Have you booked your flight?" I said, "I'm doing that tomorrow." He said, "Please don't do it again. I will take care of the flight to and fro." I said, "Thank you." That was the day I took note of that lady, and I knew something was different about that girl. Everywhere she sees books, she's buying. She comes to my meeting, she will pick all my books, pick all my tapes. Before she left this Abakaliki, the husband used to be manager of a particular bank. They sacked the man. This lady, out of her enterprising and entrepreneurial spirit, was able to develop a whole building from scratch to roofing and rented it out for rentage. Wheeled it to the husband to be making some money from there. It was through this lady that the husband was able to connect with a particular Asian company that employed him. That's how the man left Abakaliki, went out and got a job, and then things started bouncing back for the man. Few years after, the lady moved to Lagos to join the husband. Few years after, the lady has gone to the US. She's doing her second PhD now, and let me tell you what she's doing PhD in family development, counselor. That's what she's doing PhD in. Just how to talk to people. Maybe a husband and wife is fighting. Her job is to sit you two down and do you marriage therapy and counsel you on how to live in peace. Your children are deviants. Maybe you have children who are smoking, children who are doing this prostitution and all that. She would bring those children together and do therapy and help those children solve you don't have one thing like that in Abakaliki here. Not one. Abakaliki is dried. That's why all of you are just like this here. Somebody in Lagos is sitting down in an office. All she's doing is just talking to somebody and making millions. And for her to get that training, she has to go all the way to America. That's where she is currently. She has to go all the way to America to go and take a PhD in that field. She has 4 children. A millionaire lady from Imo State here. When you see some people's life, the way it's so packaged, the way it's so clean, the way things are working for them, you think God just loved this one and favored him and blessed him. A lie. People worked hard to be there. The atmosphere here looks like where a politician is trying to talk to people to go and collect gun and go and rig election for him. That's not the atmosphere. I'm looking for a conference atmosphere. If you are going to come for this meeting tomorrow and I'm going to be here, you have to change the atmosphere of this meeting. Come like people who are coming to learn. I'm talking to you as a father, not as a brother. I'm talking to you as a reverend minister, not as just one casual pastor. I will not waste any of my resources for free again. If I have to give it for free, place value on it. You're coming tomorrow, come with your diary, come with your pen, come with your Bible. What does it cost to get one? If nobody taught you that, okay, I'm teaching you now, go and get one. There are diaries where I took notes as far back as 2005. I still have the diaries. You open it, you see notes I took from men who have wisdom. Men who have wisdom. Mike Murdoch. And men who have shaped the world. You see notes I took in conferences far back as 2005. I still have it in my house today. I've been where you want to be. Though you don't know how to be there, I'm showing you how to get there now. Don't join this city that is lazy and be lazing around. Abakaliki is a lazy city. It's a carefree city. It does not care about anything. The street lights can be going off. It doesn't care. The roads can be dirty. It doesn't care. Don't be in a city where people just live like animals and be living like them. I'm challenging every one of you. Step up. You can be in Abakaliki and be thinking global. You can be in Abakaliki and be living global. Step up. Don't die small here. You're having malaria and typhoid. Do you know how many times I've used malaria? With malaria and typhoid, I was in the aircraft traveling to go and get training. Because you have it free here. By today, that is Friday, I'm talking to you. If you go to Transcorp Hilton Hotel in Abuja or Sheraton, every sections of the conference centers, one conference or the other is going on. It is not economic summit here, it's business summit here, it's one NGO there, it's one training there, it's one other training there, it's one other training there. The whole hotel is booked. So even as somebody who is living, you'll be having a problem of which one do I attend. One technological summit is going there, education summit is going on here, one other program, you'll be having a problem of which one do I attend. And you go there, by this time people are wearing suits. I'm telling you, where I've gone to, I've attended meetings. By 9 o'clock, people are wearing suits. They are wearing their tags. They are writing. Somebody is teaching, and they paid in hard currency to learn. And the conference is finishing by 11, by 12. That's when people are retiring back to their hotel rooms to go and sleep. How many hotels function like that in Abakaliki? If it's not a Yahoo boy who is taking a girl to a hotel to go and sleep with, how many hotels function like that in the city? How many conference centers do you have in Abakaliki? You stay in a city for a whole year. You can't hear that a significant program happened here. You can't hear. You can't hear that men of substance, Fela Durotoye, do you even know who he is? You don't hear that Tony Elumelu comes to this city. Yet you see them in Lagos like you're seeing ordinary people. They are going to Abuja, going to Port Harcourt. You can't see them in Abakaliki because there's visionlessness in the land. No vision for the youths, no vision for the men of the city. God has raised you one man here who understands how the thing works. Yet it's hard to embrace it. Ask God to remove the veil from your eyes. Let him remove the veil. You are living in a global time. This is a global dispensation. It's an error to be living local. What is the real value of your life? If they put it on a scale now, what will you weigh? What is the value of your life? We're talking real business here. You think you have time again. You are growing old. You think one day you just wake up and find yourself in destiny. You're growing old. If you don't do something about your life now, you're finished. Do you know the day you're going to die and leave this world? You're living like you have all the time. Have you checked what is happening in your finances? Have you checked what is happening in your business? Have you checked what is happening with your personal economy? Everything around you? Do you have a plan for life? That's what I came for this men's conference to show you. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. What's your vision? Let me ask you. If I ask you to tell me what your vision is for the next 30 years, what will you say? What do you want to do in life? Let me do a little survey. You want to go to school. That's what the vision. There are many who went to school and graduated. They are driving Okada. That's not the vision. I'm not saying Okada is a bad business. There are many who went to school. They have no job. Going to school is not a vision. What have you seen yourself becoming in life? Give him mic. Let's now see the quality of people that we're talking about. Yes, tell me.
Sounds like after school going to business.
You're going to business. What kind of business?
Business like importing things from abroad.
Importing what kind of things? Are you saying where? Were you here yesterday? Before you came here, were you going to church?
Yes.
Which church? Catholic. Have they taught you this kind of thing I'm teaching you here? Yes. Because religion can't teach you this. And I say it without apology. But this question I've asked you now is the most important question I can ask you as a man. If you can't answer it, the opportunities everywhere. Do you know why people are not successful? It's because they are not prepared for the opportunities. That's why all of you who are still embracing religion and holding it as a Catholic, you are finished. Lose yourself from that chain and sit down and get your life back. Lose yourself from stupid chains of religion. That's the biggest enemy. So before we even talk of developing you, we need to even do discovery. And the way I'm saying it, it will take time to show you exactly what you can. So it's not about, I want to do business, I want to be importing things. Have you defined what things you want to import? Me who is standing and talking to you, 100 years, the next 100 years from where I am now, is clearly written. I know everything I should be doing 100 years from now if Jesus tarries. Clearly mapped out, clearly documented, clearly written. That's why when you look at me, I don't stroll. Because my days have been numbered. So you see me, I'm walking with speed. I have a sense of urgency and timing. Because I know that my life is time bound. My destiny is time bound. Once my time is up, I'm gone. And I don't have any opportunity to do the things I should have done while alive when I'm gone. This is why a lot of young men waste their life. There are three kinds of life. Number one is wasted life. That's the worst life to live. Number two is spent life. Spent life is not necessarily like wasted life. Wasted life is a life that is thrown away in cultism, in moral recklessness, in vices. Somebody smoked his lung to death. Somebody drank his liver to death. Somebody, all kinds of things. Wasted life. Cultism can waste your life. Kidnapping can waste your life. All kinds of vices. That's how you live a wasted. But spent life, you don't necessarily need to do something bad. Just be idle. You're spending your life. Spent life. Just spending time. It's like somebody gave capital of 1 million to start business. Instead of investing the 1 million, he used it, just spend it in buying liabilities, buying clothes and shoes. That's spending money. But the third kind of life is invested life, and that's the best form of life to live. Invested life is that life of accuracy and precision. You are aware that by so and so time, this is where you should be, and then you are putting everything that you need to put inside of you to make sure that thing ahead of you, you get there. Like going to school is part of investment, but you don't go to school without a plan. There must be a purpose associated with your going to school. Going to school is not a plan in itself. What is the purpose for going to school? You can go to school and just go and sit in a class, and the lecturer just come furnish you with anything he wants to furnish you with. And then you go out, you're not sure whether you should be reading law, you're not sure whether you should be reading medicine. That's why you want to die reading it. That's why some people can sit in a class reading medicine or reading law, and that's all they ever learned. Me, when I was in school reading my professional course, I was also before I graduated from school, I'd become a fellow to different institutions. Not just the university I went to study. I was going to go and get extra professional training. Like I did not study law as a first degree course. But before I'd even done second degree, in my first degree, I was already preparing for that other field, for the legal field. By the time I was even done with first degree, I had already gone to register and take a course and became a chartered mediator and conciliator. Most lawyers who did first degree who have LLB don't have it. Me who didn't do first degree in law have it. There are schools I went to attend in marriage development, family development, different areas of life, in leadership, in business, in nation building. Because for you to achieve your destiny, it's like a building. You cannot build a building that is all block, all cement. Some part of the building will be iron, some will be wood, some will be plumbing, some will be electrical. Different people will come to do their job to make a building complete. You can't go to school and read just one course and say you graduated a doctor or graduated a lawyer and you know nothing else about other field of life. That's why they call university. It's simply, in Igbo they call it mahadum. It's not everything. University is supposed to be a community where if you go to study a major course, there are other sub courses you're supposed to be in touch with. You're supposed to go through other fields of life. You're supposed to have knowledge of every other field of life before you're out of school. So when you come out, you're a complete man. Your school system is not designed that way. That's why it's an error to say you are studying a course and you are dying inside that course. You don't have time to go to church and study other things to develop your spirit, man. You don't have time to go and join a particular club where you can study something in another area of life so that you can be a doctor who is fast. That's why I'm a pastor who is fast. Imagine the only thing I can do is to come to church and be praying in tongues, preaching in tongues, and then receive the Holy Ghost. Can't you see I talk? But first, you must know what's your vision. What do you want to be? Is that vision that you now know that will guide you in the choice of what you're going to school to go and read? So it's not I want admission. 80% of Nigerian students are reading what the school gave them to read because they didn't meet up cut-off mark in JAM. So they just accept anything. All they want is admission so that they can say, I'm in university also. My friend is in university, so me too, let me use it and both. I'm in university also. They gave you anthropology or animal science. Is it animal science you were tailored to go and, is it your destiny? Somebody who is naturally born to do farming should not have any business with reading physiology or reading anatomy. because they just gave it to you. If it's your passion to do farming, you want to go and study it in school deliberately, because this is what you want to do, farming. And the vision is not just to farm, and you want to preserve Africa from hunger. That's a vision. The people of Abah needs help, and they need me. I know God sent me here, and the reason he's pinning me here is because he knows there's a vacuum. There's something Abah people need to hear. You see, majority of our youth are running around politicians. If you're not in APC, you're in PDP, you're in this other party, running around. When you go for some of their rally, you see how they look. You see the son of the land, the son of the city has beaten them to a point where if you see their skin, you see the women of our land, the labor they do. All these women who are sparing though, doing messing work and all that. I don't know if you see that thing and cry. The level of poverty in the city. And the poverty is not pocket fair, it's the mental climate. There are no developmental meetings. To abuse this is under key and lock. Economical center is under key and lock. ICC, that is supposed to be international conference center, which conference happens there? It's under key and lock. How do you develop a city like that? This abuse here, nothing happens here. Only political rallies. Maybe I'm the only person in this town who wants to do a program. I will say, okay, go and get me Franklin Hotel. Let's use the hall. Go and get me Seren's Hotel. Let's use the hall and do a conference. You won't see any other thing like that. There should be meetings for event planning. Somebody is hosting an event planning meeting. People go there to go and learn. Another person is doing interior decoration conference. Another person is doing entrepreneurship conference. Another person is doing vocational skill development. Another person is doing fashion training. All kinds of things. The whole week busy. The whole life in a boy busy. Look at the time. This is just 2:08. It's not already 8. Are you seeing the city is already shutting down? Shutting down. The city goes to bed early. 8 o'clock. You can't see car. You can't see keke again. You can't see Okada. Everybody has gone inside. Police catches you by 9 o'clock in the city. They'll say, why are you loitering at ungodly hour? One day they saw me 9 o'clock. The policeman say, Oga, yes, who are you? Why are you around here at this ungodly hour? I turn. I say, you are the one who is ungodly. There's no ungodly time. What you're calling ungodly time, somebody is just dressing in his house in Lagos now to go and do his 7th job for the day. He's going to office. By this time, you call ungodly hour here. 2 a.m. in Lagos looks like 7 o'clock in the night. Traffic is on the road. It's because people are in a city that is slow and lazy. Then wake up in the city by tomorrow, 7 o'clock. It still looks like everybody is still preparing to get up from bed. Shops are closed. 8 o'clock, shops are closed. One morning, I said to one of my daughters to go and get me Strepsil for my sore throat. 9 o'clock, no pharmacy was open. Not one. Before the lady got back, it was already 9:30 or to 10. Why did it take you so long? You left here around 8. Sir, I was waiting for the shops to open. I walked around the city, no shop has opened. I said, that's the city we live in. Lazy and slow. When they increase your civil service salary to 10,000, you are throwing celebration, you are happy. Meanwhile, somebody somewhere else doing a deal of 1 minute and closing a deal of 1 billion. And he's saying business today is bad. 1 billion. He's saying business is bad today. Go to Lagos. Who knows the commissioner? Can I talk here? I said, who knows the commissioner in Lagos? Nobody knows you. You will pass. Nobody will know you passed. Because your convoy does not reach the convoy of e-money. What boys are driving? I mean boys who are doing barbing saloon. What they are driving? Lagos boys. What these Yoruba boys are driving there? With police, or if you see their own police, you wonder, is this Nigerian police? Police that are well built. If you see what they wear, their own police, their own gun is different. Men and doings. So when you come here where commissioners intimidate you with their Prado Jeep, because everybody is poor, every other person is civil servant, there are no business magnates in the land. Nobody is pushing much hard in the land. Everybody's at the mercy of one politician or the other. That's why they can talk and everybody will hear, hey, honor. Because you have no job. Who has time for honor in Lagos? When a young boy is busy creating his barbing salon there, creating his event center here, busy creating his decoration. Even some now, their business in Lagos is to help you do delivery, bike. They use their bike and they are making millions by delivering. Some they help you relocate your things from your building to a new building. They help you to move. You're busy with your career. You want to pack from this estate to another estate. They will come and pack your things, put in their vehicle, set your new apartment. You pay them in millions. People are busy. That's why traffic is high there. Do you see any traffic here? With all your flyovers, any traffic here? How often do you see vehicles on the flyover? Because people don't do anything. Everybody is just at home. I don't know if the things I'm saying is entering now. I want to ask, is it entering now? Because it's not first preaching and all. I have to give you orientation so you know I'm feeling the way I feel. I'll ask one more person and I'll close. What's your vision, sir? Give him the mic. Just that and then I'll close. Yeah.
I want to be outstanding. When I mean outstanding, I want to be outstanding, like I want to make a difference. And what inspires me is where I come from, my background. And that's it.
Okay. You want to make a difference, you want to be outstanding. Now in which field? In which field of life?
Okay, first of all, personally, I want to be a philanthropist.
You want to be what?
A philanthropist. Yeah.
A philanthropist.
Yeah.
A philanthropist usually is the end product of your career or your whatever you do. You don't become a philanthropist first. Philanthropy is a product of your success in your field. So if you don't succeed in your field, you can't give what you don't have. So philanthropy is the end picture. All the people who are doing philanthropy first succeeded, like Bill Gates is a philanthropy. Bill and Melinda Foundation, that's what they do. They do philanthropy. Dangote has a foundation that is in charge of they give money to education. They even give money for security and all that. That's part of philanthropy. Okay? So, if you want to be a philanthropy, there are two ways. It's either you have a venture, a business, or a dream, a vision that can sponsor that. Or you have another system that can help you generate finances to do that. So I want to know, either of the two, which one are you thinking of?
I want to go into health facilities or something like that.
Are you studying anything medically related?
Yes, sir.
What are you studying?
I'm studying physiology.
Physiology. So you want to have medical facilities like hospitals?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And what's the vision of that hospital?
Okay.
What problem have you seen that is inspiring creating that kind of facility?
Okay. It's not actually being seen like I've experienced. Like earlier this year, my sister went for a surgery at Fetan. Then there was this thing that happened and she wasn't attended to early. So it was about money problem. So, and before she was attended to, it was a bit late, though by God's grace she was operated on successfully. So I was thinking, if there's something, or by any chance someone has something that can help people that are not that don't have the advantage, or that are not opportuned to have what it takes to do, or let me say for that surgery now, people that doesn't have the money to do it, or people that does not have the resources to go through that, because many people suffer many illnesses or ailments, but they don't have the money to treat.
I now understand what you're saying. So you see, vision usually starts with seeing a problem that you're passionate about solving. If vision is not thinking of solving a problem, it's not vision. Vision comes from finding a problem that you are tailored and wired and passionate to solve. Like Prison Hughes has a vision, and this is the kind of vision that we have to discover what people are called to do, like what is done now, discovering what he's called to do now. But aside discovering it, the next thing is to develop it, prepare him for it. That's why our church is different from where you just come. No, is a vision. Raising global leaders is a vision of this ministry. Raising leaders that transform nations. That's the vision of this house. He doesn't need to be a governor or a president. He can be a leader in that sector, health. For instance, one of my daughters called me, texted me yesterday and said that the sister was just discharged from the hospital. I said, oh great, is she okay? And I said, not really. He said that the doctors are on strike, so they discharge people. He said there are people with worse kidney cases that need urgent dialysis and all that. They discharge them. I said, to go and do what? To go and die in their houses. Why? Because the doctor feel they have not given him salary, or they have not increased. You see, that's a guy who went to school to read for himself. He didn't go to get a vision for his word. Because if you are looking for a vision for your word, you will not be a normal person. You will not be a normal person. You'll be thinking of how to help people. Everything that is driving you is how to make the world a better place. You'll not be thinking of how to eat alone. You want to help other people. It's going to be a continuous reaction in you. It's like this, Abah. If you see the reaction in me, when I see the way human beings are, the thing reacts in me. I see the way poverty is raging the land. The thing reacts in me. And I'm continuously thinking of what to do to solve the problem. This thing I'm putting up here, if not for passion and love for this city, it can't be here. Where I will take this structure to is Lagos. That's where they will understand it better. But I'm doing it with the pain. The sacrifices is for people like you. Because if I'm not here, I don't know that there are two of my kind here. If they are, thank God. Because everybody who is doing pastoral is not doing it like me. My own is very different. If you want to fight, just live here, leave this church for 2 months, attend other churches. Come back and tell me, so your own is different. You'll know what I'm teaching, how I'm teaching it, what I'm talking about is different. I'm not just talking about going to heaven. I'm not just talking about Bible. Abraham now gave birth to Isaac, and Sarah now became the mother of Isaac. And I'm looking at your life intentionally and checking, what is this guy called to do in this world? What is his assignment on earth? Now, having discovered that this is the problem you want to solve, the next thing is development. That's where paying the price to now do it comes in. And many people can talk all the big things they want to do, great things, and still will not give themselves, will not submit themselves for the training to get there. So discovery is not what takes you there. You can know, oh, this is how I feel. My sister had this situation. I say, Kai, there are people who cannot pay their medical bill. Let me give you an example. Next year, I'm starting education. I'm doing school. 2 kinds of school. One is British standard school that will develop young people in leadership. That's the basic drive, is leadership. But we'll be teaching every other thing in the school. But the focal thing is to develop leaders. That's one kind of school. The school fees, there will be school fees in that one. People will pay. And it's a little bit, not so high, but just the hair. But it's for a special kind of people. But it's that kind of school we're also building for another special kind of people. As after I've done all this thing I'm doing, that school is for less privileged people. It's called Special Kids School. It's not just a normal kind of school. It's a school for children who are out of school. Like I drive around town sometimes, I see mothers with their children under the flyover. Go to St. Teresa. Opposite St. Teresa, there, you will see children. It's not even those parents that are children. Children who are sitting on the road with plates begging. They should be in school. For instance, I can't be a governor and that will happen. I don't need money to do that. You have all the tools of governance. You have the lands, you have the buildings. You can raise a school and send them there. Put teachers that you'll be paying every month, give them books free. Let's save these children because they're the ones that will become criminals tomorrow. Let's heal society. Are you seeing how vision thinks? Vision is not thinking of itself, it's thinking of society, how to make the world a better place. So I see that, I bleed, I begin to cry. How can these children be under the flyover, begging with plates? How? So what do we do to send them to school? These children who are hawking at Peace Park, what do we do to send them back to school? So government is not interested. I become interested. I say, no problem. I'll develop a less privileged people's school. And it's going to be free of charge. Do I have the money in any account? No, sir. But I have the vision because I've seen a problem. That's where the criminals come out of. It's from those hoods, from those ghettos, from those. That's the streets now train those guys to become very deadly. Because of the harsh conditions they grew under, the things they suffered, they're the ones that grew up to become unknown gunmen. When they have opportunity to find an escape route from that poverty, even if it is crime, even if you tell them to go and behead somebody's head and bring the head of the person, and they will you will give them 1 million. Somebody who have never seen 1,000 before, you're now saying 1 million. The guy is ready to pull your head out. If that is the only way he will come out from poverty, that is what I'm going to the government houses to teach these people. They don't know it. But do you know, to get this thing done, if you see the trainings I've gone for, educational summits I've attended, schools I've visited, not in Abakaliki here, there's no school here. All the way in Abuja, I'll go to Chrisland, I'll go to Lagos, go to Lekki British School, I'll go to Harvard University. Apart from this secondary school thing, if you see plan I also have for developing even university. You know the problem I want to solve? Unemployment. Graduates graduating and they can't find jobs. Graduates graduating, they cannot create jobs for themselves. It's the content of the school that is the problem. What are they teaching? It can empower the young people to create jobs. That is how vision. This is why I don't sleep. If you allow me here now, I will talk to you tomorrow morning. You begin to hate me and wonder what kind of pastors is. Other churches do their service 30 minutes, they close, they go. They don't have any vision for you. A man who has vision will keep you like this. He wants something to enter your head. When you are before a pastor who is a visionary and a leader, know the difference. When you are standing before somebody who just want to preach and collect your offering and go, know the difference. Anyway, I'm done. So I'm interested in you. The issue is that are you from Ebonyi State? Are you from Izzy? You're from Izzy. The issue is that many people from Abakaliki, from Ebonyi State generally don't want to settle down and grow. You may meet someone who will tell you, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that. But they don't want to settle down. So you see them in church today. Tomorrow they're outside. They are roaming up and down. They don't want to settle down. So that's the vision. That's what the vision looks like. But now, what trainings you need that's what you need to define the trainings you need. Like, are you in school now? You're studying physiology. But it's not just physiology. There are other exposures you need. You also need to find who is doing something similar like what I want to do. You need to start studying him. It's like you want to do philanthropy. You need to study Tony Olumelu. He's not in health, but he's a philanthropy. Now, apart from studying Tony, you have to also study who is doing something that is health-related philanthropy. I can show you one. He's in River State. His name is Dr. Richard Okoye. You need to. That's another guy. He has a foundation called Doctor Saves a Life Foundation. Are you seeing my exposure level? There's nothing you stand up here and say, I will not tell you something about your field. Nothing. I'm a clear example of Psalm chapter 23. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. It doesn't matter the sheep in this church. I'm a shepherd for every sheep here. Doesn't matter your field. The issue is, will you sit down and will you allow me to coach you? So if you have a good Android phone, it's not pornography you should go and be watching. It's to go and be looking for sites. Who is doing something in this area? How are they doing it? What's the structure? How did they develop it? Because what you want to do is not today is going to happen. You are going to still go through a lot of training and development. The vision is not yet very clear. Even from the way you're talking. I will show you, if I start talking to you about how to develop this, you see there's a lot in it. How to develop a clear vision board, how to write this vision in simple and clear language, and develop it on paper. Have you developed it on paper? No. Do you have it on paper? This vision. It's not yet a vision. The vision is still vague to you. It becomes a vision when it is written. Write the vision. Make it plain, so that he that reads will run. What it means is, if it's a vision, then write it. Then if the vision is understood, if it is clear to you, it will be plain. Plain means make it simple. If the vision is not clear, it will be ambiguous. But if the vision is clear, it will be plain. It says, so that he that readeth will run. What that means is that make it so simple, so that a man who is running can read it. So the fastest runner, the person who is even driving, can turn and read the signpost and understand what you're trying to say. Is somebody hearing what I'm saying? So if your vision has not gone through that process, it's still vague to you. You have to settle down and define it well on paper. After you've gotten that right, the next thing now is to enter executional phase. Even before execution, part of execution is training. The execution phase is also your development. But you're not doing execution as part doing the vision now. It's training yourself for it. Because in your vision statement, in your vision board, you're developing everything, your strategy, the trainings you need, the exposures you need, the mentorship you need, the schools you need to attend, everything that you need to acquire in order to bring that to. And you're also determining the time frame. Like for Jesus, when he was born, from 12 was when he entered his season of training. From 0 to 12 was when he was growing, being nurtured by parents. That 0 to 12 years is when your parents' oversight function is supposed to be high on you. That's when they're developing your morals, your character, your attitude, your everything, your value system, your culture. That's when your parents do their job. It's 0 to 12 years. From 12 years now, your parents need to know how to expose you to other institutions of training. It's not just going to school that is the training. No. What most parents do is that they just send you to school and leave you there. At 12, your child should be able to have other skills beyond just classroom. Like my baby, before she's 12, she has grown her musical talent. She has learned how to do tailoring. She must learn skills. Tailoring skills. She will learn musical skills. At least 3 instruments she should be able to play by 12. That's why when she goes on my keyboard in my house, I don't interrupt her. She will go there and be playing all the keys. Playing, I leave her there. Today she was using my toothbrush, 2 of them, to play drums. I said, leave her there. Let her be playing it. She must develop her singing skill, her musical skill. Before 12, she has learned how to do tailoring, seamstress. She will learn it for herself. How to sew her own sweater. Before 12, she would have learned something in AI, that's artificial intelligence, robotics, animation, and graphics. By 12, she would have learned that. So what Jesus was doing in the temple at the age of 12 was that season of diverse exposure that was coming, diverse training. In Joseph's house, he was learning the morals and the ethics. He was going to school, but he was also learning carpentry. That was one. But when it was 12, he knew all this domestic thing is not what is going to take me to my destiny. I need to now go beyond. 12, he began to learn from professors, teachers. He began to expose himself in different areas of life. Then from 12 years all the way to 30, he had acquired skills. That's why they called him different names. Some called him rabbi. Do you know what a rabbi is? A rabbi is not a pastor. A rabbi is somebody who is schooled in Judaism. The guy went to the Jewish school and learned the A to Z of Judaism. Yet he didn't come and practice Judaism. He came to save the world. But these people are his constituency. He needs to learn their language. He needs to know what they know. Judaism, he learned it. That's why when you are talking about keep the Sabbath day holy, he can turn to you and talk to you about the Sabbath. Because he went to the school of Judaism and studied. He knows what Sabbath is. So when you try to bring all those laws of Sabbath, he now tells you, which amongst you have a donkey and the donkey falls into a pit on the Sabbath day and you don't go to go and pull it out. He studied it, and then from that study he was able to find the loopholes in their field, and he was able to bring balance to some things that they had extremism in. That's because he learned that. That's why people call him rabbi. He had mastery of Judaism. But aside that, there are other areas. He was a professional carpenter, and different other schools and trainings he went for. That's why he was able to talk to fishermen. When he said to Peter, follow me, I will make you fishers of men, he understood the dynamics of fishing. It's not a man who does not know fishing that will tell Peter, okay, cast your nets into the deep for a catch. Peter, with all his professionalism, didn't know certain levels of fishing that Jesus knew. Jesus had to expose him to another technology that will make him catch vast number of whatever. There was no microphone in the time of Jesus. Yet Jesus understood sound, and he understood lighting, he understood sound engineering. He didn't have microphone. How was he speaking to the multitude without mic? He went to study sound engineering at some point. That's why when he wants to talk, it's either he goes to the mountain, and then so that the wave of the air can take what he's saying down to the valley. If he's not in the mountain preaching by daytime, when he wants to do night crusade, he goes to the sea. When the seas come and the breeze is flowing, because in the daytime the sun comes on the tree absorbs oxygen. You are absorbing carbon dioxide or carbon dioxide in the afternoon. In the night time, this your whatever is giving you what? Carbon oxygen. Is that correct? And what are you giving in the night time? Carbon dioxide. So in the night time, oxygen is what is released. That's why you see weather is usually cooler. In the night, from the seashore, the kind of wave of sound, all those that flows from, it's in the night time you see it. If you live around riverine areas, you see that the places where houses are built around river, in the night is really colder because of the presence of water there. So Jesus will go to the river bank and go and start talking from Peter's boat, and people will be at the seashore, and then as he's speaking inside the river, the wave of the sound is carrying his sound. How did he learn that? Everybody say development. Development. He knew something about finance, about banking. The first man that invented the ATM, he said, Peter, go to your fish, open the mouth, bring out money, and come and pay the tax collectors. That guy was learning something about financing. Hello, somebody. So if you want to do your dream, fulfill your dream. And that's why it took Jesus just 3.5 years, because he spent more time in development than in execution. Your biggest job is in the development of that vision. It's not the execution. Execution is easy when you have the trainings. The next time I'm going to talk to you guys, you will pay. Don't worry. So you have value for what I'm teaching you. It's because it's coming free. That's why you guys play light on it. Okay, sit down. Is it your first time coming? Were you here yesterday? Okay. So you have to keep coming. You have to keep coming. Because I will have to help you. That's a very sensitive area. We need people who will go and claim back our mountains of society and all that. I wish I can do one more, but let's close it for tonight. Even you who is named now, what's your vision? The one in white. Take his anatomy. What's your vision? You're coming late. All this weakness some of you are having is visionlessness. Sickness is, what's your own vision? Just say it, let me hear, and then we'll close. You want to be an anatomist?
I want to be a pastor, sir.
Pastor is not a vision.
And also an entrepreneur.
It's not a vision.
In business sector.
It's not a vision. Pastor is not a vision. Entrepreneur is not a vision. Vision is what you do with those platforms. Pastoral is a platform. Entrepreneur is a platform. What you do with it is either vision or not vision. On a good night.
We believe you've been transformed by the wonders of God's Word. For additional information about us, you can visit our website at www.princetonhills.org. You can also send us a mail at info@princetonhills.org or call 070-331-66762 or 081-31-555-747. Princeton Hills Ministries, raising global leaders.